Hey, whoa with the accusations. No, I did not force them to drink the Victreebel acid. I just didn't tell them that it wasn't grape soda. Hey, what's good, Joe? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. So, within the last 2 weeks, we have gotten a couple of Mega Evolutions revealed to us. Individually, I wasn't really sure what to do in regards to a conversation about them, but now that we have 2 major reveals in regards to Mega Evolution, I really wanted to take the time, talk about those, and then talk about why I adore these new Mega Evolutions. At the time of this recording, we've technically only had 3 new Mega Evolutions revealed to us, being Dragonite, Victreebel, and Hawlucha. In the coming weeks or so, we're allegedly supposed to get a couple more reveals. We'll have to see what happens with that. Maybe we'll do littler discussions on those. We'll see what happens. But I think we've waited a little too long to talk about these, right? So why don't you go ahead, get cozy, sit down with a nice glass of soda, maybe some Sprite, and get your corn dog. Drench that sucker in butter and make sure to dazzle it in Parmesan cheese and spicy mayo while we talk about the new Mega Evolutions for Pokemon Legends ZA. First and foremost, that Victreebel trailer was absolutely insane. 2 days prior to the announcement, they randomly dropped a photo of somebody with a flashlight on their head or something, standing outside of a gate of like a house or a mansion or whatever it was. And that was crazy, because that looked straight out of Resident Evil 7. Like, what is that, okay? Pokemon continuously has this thing where they kind of tease all of the really neat aspects of like horrific stuff that happens in the world of Pokemon, and I will always be frustrated that they never capitalize on that, because stuff like this is really interesting, right? So that was interesting, and then we inevitably got the trailer. I simply cannot stress enough how Resident Evil 7 this was, right? The entirety of the house was just like old, rotting, destroyed. There was what was obviously supposed to be blood all over the place, but it was, you know, acid or something sweet, according to the smell that the woman was explaining. And it was just so freaky. It's just like, wow, this is awful. And if it weren't for like the off-putting models of the characters and the very obvious nature of Pokemon, that would actually be so much scarier, right? But again, Pokemon can be scary, okay? Don't get me wrong, but this here, it was just strange, because it was just like, it's freaky, but I wasn't like, oh my god, like what's about to happen, you know? Like, I knew everyone was gonna be okay. Inevitably, they head up the stairs and they are greeted by Mega Victreebel bursting through the wall, spraying acid everywhere like a lunatic, and screaming, or whatever noise it was making. Good God almighty. When I tell you Pokemon can be scary, this right here, we see it in this goofy cartoon aspect, but if we were to see that in real life, I would need some new draws, I promise you. At first, this thing's design was extremely off-putting. I didn't really know how to feel about it. And then I inevitably just kept watching the trailer, looking at it more, seeing how it moved, and it was really cute and goofy, and it really grew on me the more I looked into it. I remember reading somewhere that Mega Evolution is actually extremely painful for Pokemon. Why they would do something like that is absolutely beyond me, but I guess that's like the sacrifice of power that Pokemon are willing to go through. And I bring this up because in the very specific case of Victreebel, that is absolutely insane. According to the official Dex entry on the website, the Mega Evolution causes it to produce so much acid that it needs to tie itself up to try and contain it. That's insane, right? Do these developers like torturing these Pokemon? I don't understand why they would do something like that, but given its design, it makes a lot of sense. That's just really sad. But it's apparently having fun, so whatever, I guess. Still grass poison, now it's just a little bit stronger, so that's cool. It's grown on me a lot. I don't know if this is gonna be my primary Mega Evolution that I use in-game, especially because of the one that came after that. Not too long after that trailer, they dropped a poster for the quote-unquote mega matchup between Machamp and Hawlucha. Now, maybe it was my own fault for getting my expectations up, but maybe not really, because why would they say mega matchup and only one of them gets a Mega Evolution? Whatever. My fault for having any expectations. But It's okay. Anyhow, we get this really neat animation of Machamp versus Hawlucha in the ring. For whatever reason, Machamp has the upper hand despite their typings. I think it's really funny that Hawlucha, a fighting flying type with moves like Sky Attack right at the ready, was struggling against the Machamp to the point where it inevitably needed to mega evolve because it was too focused on gaining the attention of the masses instead of its own fight, which I think it easily could have won. But again, we got a mega evolution out of it because it realized its fault. So I'm not mad at that at all. Either way, it was a fun little matchup. Hawlucha mega evolving clearly took the upper hand and absolutely annihilated Machamp, and it was really, really raw. Genuinely, I am in love with the design for Mega Hawlucha because it's simplistic, but also just a very obvious just step up from its base design is why I like it so much. Like, this is what I would want a regular actual evolution of Hawlucha to look like, and we at least have a version of it that we can use in Mega Evolution. So that's really, really cool. I enjoy it a lot. I love its mask. It reminds me a lot of like Robin, you know what I mean? Teen Titans, like OG Teen Titans. I love that mask design so much. It looks so good. The coloring on it is fire. Its confidence is nice. It's a little bit bigger, I think. I could be imagining that, but it does appear to be a little bit bigger in the arms and wings and things like that. So it looks like it hits a little bit harder. I love this design so incredibly much. Hawlucha also appears to keep its typing of fighting flying. Don't know why we are 3 for 3 on that. I kind of like the idea of Mega Evolutions really changing things up and changing the typings, but I guess because we have terrestrialization as a gimmick, I guess it would be kind of redundant if all of the new Pokemon getting Mega Evolutions also got new typings to accommodate that as well. It would be a little ridiculous, but I don't know. I love the idea of things like Mega Gyarados getting that dragon typing that it's always needed and stuff like that. I just thought that was interesting, but in this case, they really are just getting big buffs out of Mega Evolutions, which I'm totally cool with. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy with that. So far of the Mega Evolutions revealed, I really do enjoy all of them. The more that I look at them, obviously some are more goofy than others. Victreebel, in my personal opinion, being the goofiest, but I still absolutely adore the designs, especially Dragonite's. I think it is pretty much in spirit and in line with its pre-evolution and designs and things like that, so I really, really do enjoy it. But that pretty much applies to all of them, to the exact same extent, right? Just a nice little touch up from their original designs, what they would look like if they were to go, in the wise words of Kakarot himself, even further beyond. Long and short of it is, I think that they're 3 for 3 so far when it comes to designs, and I mess with it very heavily. And then of course, the idea that we're getting viability in Pokemon that we're not really thinking about as much anymore like we used to, especially a Pokemon like Hawlucha, who has just been kind of around for the most part. I don't know what he looks like in the competitive scene, if I'm completely honest, but rarely have I heard anybody be like, oh yeah, my favorite Pokemon is Hawlucha. Now, I feel like you might end up hearing that a lot more post-Legend ZA, if we're being so real. Also, not to say that any of these Pokemon have just been sitting on the bench or a back burner for years on end or anything like that. All of these Pokemon are very valid and viable for use in battle, regular playthrough or otherwise. But before this, I wasn't thinking as much about Victreebel or Hawlucha. That's pretty likely to change. I think these Mega Evolutions and their designs for them have really swayed me into wanting to use these Pokemon a little bit more. I think I used the Victreebel one time when I was doing a Nuzlocke of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and I remember being like, wow, Victreebel's actually pretty damn good, honestly. So now seeing it get like a big buff through Mega Evolution like this, I don't know, man. We'll have to see what happens. I might put in the work with them. We'll play it by ear. And then obviously the biggest thing about all of this, right, is that we have more to look forward to. And on top of that, they're not just going to sit here and die with this game. And that's the most exciting part about all of this. The fact that Pokémon Champions exists at all is such a great thing to me, because this is something that I've been asking for years, to make it so that Mega Evolutions, Z moves, Gigantamax forms, and things like that can still be viable and still be relevant and present in current day. So essentially, Pokemon Legends ZA is going to be this fun, cool little playground where we get to test the idea of how strong these Mega Evolutions are going to be. However, they will be available further on in the future through Pokemon Champions, and that's where we'll be able to fully take advantage of all of their new powers, utilize items and abilities and things like that to their fullest extent in a turn-based situation. So it's going to be really cool to see what these Pokemon feel like in both of these situations. I'm really looking forward to that. Now, of course, I do have one tiny itty-bitty little complaint. Something that's definitely likely to be, destroyed and just, outdated within this next week. And I hope that's the case. I hope that I'm wrong on this, you know what I mean? But I don't think we need any more Kanto mons. This is a discussion that's been happening since Victreebel was revealed. We don't need any more. We had back-to-back with Dragonite and Victreebel. I don't think we need any more Kanto mons, right? Of course, if we were getting both Machamp and Hawlucha, fine. But even then, we don't need more Kanto mons if we're being so incredibly real to get Mega Evolutions. We are basically in the thousands now when it comes to Pokemon, and so far 2 of the 3 that have been revealed to us are Kanto. Absolutely insane. Thank goodness for Hawlucha though, because it's very strange that all this time, within the generation that Mega Evolution was introduced, we only had Diancie up to this point. For what, 12 years now? Something like that? Absolutely absurd, but I'm super happy that we finally have our first non-mythical 6th gen Mega Evolution with Hawlucha. As long as you don't count Ash Greninja, is that even a thing still? Does that still work anywhere? Anyway, it's pretty inevitable that this next month is going to be spent hyping up Pokemon Legends EA little by doing little reveals like this to give us new Mega Evolutions and hopefully some new, story tidbits and mechanics and stuff that we can look forward to and all that. So I'm looking forward to it. But if we get new Mega Evolutions, hopefully we do get some, out of the box pull, something from 8th gen even, something absolutely crazy in those regards. So I think we have good reason to be pretty excited about it, but hey, you know what? Maybe that's just me. This is going to be a really short one. I want to try and upload more this week. I am so sorry. It's been very busy and just hectic this last week. I really like Hollow Knight, by the way. Anyway, why don't we go ahead and pass the mic over in your guys' direction, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you're thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree that the Pokemon that we've had revealed for Mega Evolution so far look pretty fun? You're looking forward to it, you like the designs, you like the potential that they have, and you're really looking forward to utilizing them on your team when Legends EA drops? Or are you on the opposing side? All of these Mega Evolutions look absolutely stupid and dumb. You don't like their designs at all. You don't like what they have to offer, if they have anything to offer at all, and it's just not your cup of tea. Legends EA looks like booty cheeks. Tell me everything that you're thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Doing the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone. So thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Doing the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!
I stay funky, doing donuts in a bin. I stay funky, battle goes wherever I is. I stay funky, I don't know who's ready to spit. Just know you're going down with my 58 clips. I stay funky, honey's taking back to the crib. I stay funky, get the club popped off like pins.